We will now be taking a look at the secondary vocational block. The secondary vocational block is the furthest point from the administration block and is located all the way at the very back of the complex. And so it's one of the furthest corners of the entire complex. And so yeah, and it is only ever seen in Outlast Whistleblower. It's seen in the Drying Ground chapter, but you do never actually end up going inside of it. And so its purpose is a little bit, it's not confirmed, but with some of the available evidence that we have, it does seem like it is another vocational block, pretty much. Just like the main vocational block we have seen, since their structures are basically the same, very, very similar, with just some very minor differences. And so as to, from there, you can kind of get a better understanding of what it could possibly be used for. It's basically just another work environment, except it's for female patients. Whereas the other vocational block was for the male patients, this right here would be for the female patients, to kind of keep the genders separate, which is something that you do see in a lot of these older kind of like state hospitals, asylums, so stuff like that. You do have, again, you have separate wards, you have separate blocks in the prison block, and you also have separate work environments. It kind of does make a little bit more sense when you kind of look at some of these surrounding spaces. For example, we did talk about this structure here that's right next to it here in the drying ground. And as we have seen, it does connect to the prison block. And so this would essentially most likely serve as a way for the female patients, so either those staying in the prison block or the female ward, to be able to access their workspace. And so the male patients have something similar, except they would use this hallway here, which connects to the prison block and the male ward, and they kind of connect here, and then from there this leads to their work environment. And so just to kind of give you an idea. And so yeah, and of course from the female ward, the patients staying in the female ward have to go a lot further than anyone else, since they have to go through this hallway, go through the prison block, and then out through here. And so that's kind of how this works. I did make a video on this, an Outlast lore video on this, so if you want to hear me talk a bit more about that, you can. But that's just kind of that's kind of more or less what I said in that video anyways. So that's kind of how I think that this would work. Of course, it's not confirmed, but that is the best theory I have as to what this structure is here. And so yeah, but yeah. So talking more about the actual like purpose and structure, and so yeah, it would basically just be another space for occupational therapy, and just so again have, much like the other vocational block, again kind of train the patients, except in this case the female patients instead of male patients, train the female patients for some specific job or trade, and or at the very least just keep them preoccupied. Just it's a occupational therapy, so a form of therapy pretty much. So, but yeah, again, the actual structure, so it's again very identical to the vocational block, so the main vocational block. So 3 floors, and also kind of this attic floor here, and no basement or anything like that, and then just brick for its exterior. And so it's got the same shape and everything, and it even shows evidence of it having this central courtyard, just like the other vocational block. And so yeah, again, Very similar, although there are some minor differences, like it does have these kind of sections that stick out at the front here, so there's 2 on each side, except this one right here is missing, so it's just this one on the one side. It's been replaced by just a chain link fence here. And also some of the window placements are a little bit different as well. In this main section, it does kind of more closely resemble that to the other vocational block, but then from here it kind of it's a little bit different, although most of the windows are missing. And so, yeah, you can't really get a good idea of... Well, one of the issues is how this would be arranged. So I'm guessing that it would have the same, like, layout. Although, whether it would be flipped or not is anyone's guess. Like, so, for example, like, if there is a gymnasium, right? Would the gymnasium be on this side or this side? So, like, would it just be flipped or would it just be the same? So, because of like the window layout, it's a little bit difficult to come up with a guess. And so, yeah, there's again not a whole lot to the actual interior. So there's no interior at all. The only exception is this area right here, so like the main entrance to it. This is really all you get in terms of like actual interior, and it's the main storage area. It's the main entrance area, and it's got the 2 storage areas on each side here. So behind like the metal grates here. So basically identical to what the other vocational block had. And of course, this is again the main entrance, so this would be accessed from the structure in the drying ground. So you go through here, and you have this metal door here, and it's adjacent to the main entrance. So the only thing that's kind of weird is just how this just comes to a sudden stop, and it just leads into this empty area. So it's a little bit weird. I guess that's the best thing they could come up with. And yeah, but I mean, past this point, there's nothing. So it's from this point onwards, it would just be wilderness. And you just get this very large boulder here, absolutely huge. But yeah, we're very, very far from the administration block, but you can still just see the towers there. And so once you go through these doors, yeah, there's no interior to speak of. But again, I'm guessing it would be pretty much identical. So I'm guessing offices on each side of the entrance. You would have some kind of study areas. You would probably have a kitchen and gymnasium, either on this side or the other side. Again, I'm not really sure which side it would be exactly. But you'll just have like the libraries, the classroom, the other office, again, the courtyard area, and behind this would be like the staircase and elevator. On the second floor would be probably like just art rooms. I'm not sure if there would be woodworking workshops as well, but there would definitely be some art rooms up here, I imagine. And the other office. If there's a gymnasium, it would have the second floor to it, and the third floor would probably just be sewing. And so just several workshops. And the attic would also look basically more or less to that of the other vocational block. I don't really see there being any differences. And then you just got the roof. And so again, you can see that the window placements here are pretty similar to that of the other vocational block. The only difference really in this area is that one of them was missing, I think. Yeah, so this one right here is missing. The one that's right next to this structure here, the other structure in the drawing ground that connects the secondary vocational block to the water tower. And so I don't think they would actually have like a door here connecting them. It'll be a bit weird when you, especially when you think about the actual interior of this. So since the other vocational block doesn't have anything like that. And this window here, yeah, this window is also kind of in a weird spot. It's up very close to the edge of this corner here. And you don't have anything like that over here. Especially because you also have two windows here. Except over here it's just one. A little bit of lag there. But I think that's going to be pretty much it for that. So yeah, there isn't really a whole lot to talk about this building here. Again, since we never do actually end up going inside of it, there's really not a whole lot to really see. But I do hope that gave you at least a little bit of a better understanding as to how I interpret this building to function within Mount Massive Asylum. And so yeah, with that we have concluded basically all of the above ground areas. And so with that, that only leaves us with the underground lab sub-basement. And so I will see you there.